Good morning, boys. In continuation to my previous session or the class, today, till last class, we discussed about the tissues. Today, we'll try to understand plant tissues and animal tissue. Entire tissue kingdom, tissue is divided in two parts, plant tissues and animal tissue. So, first and foremost, we'll study plant tissues. Now, this plant tissue is basically divided in two parts. One is meristematic tissue and other is permanent tissue. Right? So first we'll study about meristematic tissue. Now the meristematic tissue is divided in three parts. First one is apical meristem. Second one is intercalary. And the third one, apical, intercalary, and the third one is lateral meristem. So the plant tissue is divided in two parts, meristematic and permanent tissue. Now meristematic tissue is divided in three parts, apical meristem, intracalary and lateral meristem. Now with the help of this diagram, we'll try to understand what are the three types of tissues in meristematic tissue, how they are basically divided in a plant. If you look into this diagram, now this is a shoot stem, right? Now in this diagram, the topmost part, that is the shoot tip here, is apical meristem. Intercalary is in the center and lateral is also in the width or at the center of the stem or in the bark. Now we'll understand one by one what is the basic function of these type of meristematic tissue. So first and foremost, we'll start with the apical meristem. Now when we talk about the apical meristem, it means that this type of tissue, that apical meristem, where is the location and where is the function? So the location of apical meristem is in the tip of the root or at the root or the tip of the shoot. Means if this is a plant, at the end of the root or at the top of the stem. That is the location. And what is the function? It helps in the growth of that particular plant. This is the function of apical meristem. Now the second one, what we like to discuss here is intercalary. Now intercalary meristem is available at the base of the internodal region. Suppose this is a plant. For example, this is a plant. Right? These are the roots, shoots. This is a stem. Now this is an internodal region. This is a region, we call it internode, which I discussed in my last class. Now this internodal region is a place where intercalary meristem is present, and it helps in the elongation and development of the plant. Now the third one is lateral meristem. Now what is the function of a lateral meristem? The lateral meristem, where's the location? It occurs below the bark and in the vascular bundles. Like if you have a plant like this, for example, if you have a plant like this, it is available here in the center under the bark. Now, if you have seen a neem tree, earlier, when it is in small size, the stem is very slight and soft and tender. But when it grows in diameter, how does it grows in diameter? How does it grows? That is because of lateral meristem, which is present in this region of the plant. Now these are the three meristematic tissues. Now let us understand the permanent tissues. Right? So when we talk about permanent tissues, basically we should know what are the major characteristics of permanent tissue. Now let us highlight some of the characteristics. That permanent tissues are formed by the division of meristematic tissue. Like when we talk about meristematic tissue, as I told you, it helps in elongation of stem, it helps in increasing the diameter of the width of the bark. Why? Because of new cell division taking place. But when we talk about permanent tissue, it means they are permanent, they are fixed, there is no permanent, no further cell division taking place. Now, that is what I said, I repeat again, that all permanent tissues are formed by the division of meristematic tissues. The mature cells of the permanent tissue or the cells of mature permanent tissue are incapable of further cell division. And it formed the bulk of the plant body, means it formed the major part of the plant body. That is the characteristic of permanent tissue. So what are the three characteristics? Number one, it is made out of meristematic tissue. No cell division take place and forms the bulk of plant. These are the three major characteristics of permanent tissue. Now, let us understand one by one the different type of permanent tissue, their location and their function. So the first and foremost permanent tissue is protective or dermal tissue. Here, word dermal means skin or the outermost skin of a plant. Now the location of protective and or dermal tissue is basically that they are present on the outer surface of root, stem or leaves. Like for example, suppose this is a root here. Now they are present in the outer surface. This is an outer surface. They are present in the outer surface of root hairs, stems and leaves. That is the location. Now what is the function? What is the function? They help in the elongation. Wait. What is the function? We should understand that because they are present in the outer surface region of root, stem and leaves, they are present in roots, stems, leaves on their skin. Now what is the function? Because they are present in outer skinny area or the dermal area of the plant, so they help as they are protective in nature. They protect the inner part of the plant, inner part of the layer of the root, stem and leaves. That is the major function of the dermal or protective tissues. Now there are two types. We'll go one by one. One is, we call it epidermis. Now here the word dermis means skin, epi means topmost layer. So epi, wherever the word epi is attached in biology, it means the topmost layer. So on the skin of the plant, the topmost layer of the skin of the plant is known as epidermis. And the other one, protective or dermal tissue, is available in cork. Now what is a cork? That we need to understand. It is present in the bark of trees and it contains strong waterproof material. It has a strong waterproof material. Now cork is present. It is present in bark of trees. It is also present in outer covering. It is present in bark of trees and has a waterproof property. It means that water from the outside cannot penetrate the skin of a tree and enter inside the plant. That is a waterproof property. Now both epidermis and cork are present are the part of protective or dermal tissues. Now let us understand the second type of the permanent tissue. Now this tissue is known as supportive tissue. This is the second part of permanent tissue. Second number of permanent tissue. First one was dermal tissue. Second is supportive tissue. Now what are the major characteristics of supporting tissue? First of all, they are simple permanent tissues. Only one type of cell is present. And the second, they provide the support and strength to the plant. They provide support and strength to the plant. There are three types. Number one is parenchyma. Parenchyma. First of all, parenchyma are the living cells. They are living in nature. Now, what are the characteristics of parenchyma? The location and function we need to understand. Where is the location of parenchyma? They are available in soft part of the plant such as cortex and pith region. Cortex region or the pith region, it means at the top of the plant or at the root end where the soft regions are there, they are present there. The cells are elongated, they store food and provide temporary support to the plant. They do not have a permanent support system, they give a temporary support to the plant. Like example is one of them is we can have potato. Now the second one is we need to understand is the other one is known as collenchyma. Collenchyma. Now they are also living part of the tissue. They are also living tissue. Now what is the structure and function of collenchyma? They are available at leaf stalk. Suppose this is a leaf. Here it is present. Collenchyma is present in the leaf stalk. They are also present in the epidermis of the skin. Epidermis means topmost layer of the skin. It is present and it is present at the leaf stalk. Here, leaf stalk, it is present. Now, what is the function of collenchyma? It gives a mechanical support to the plant parts. This is very important for collenchyma. They, like for parenchyma, I just told you that it gives a slight supportive support. But here, the collenchyma, it gives a mechanical support to the parts, whether it's a leaf stalk or the stem or the roots. Now, the third one is sclerenchyma. Now, they are the dead tissues. Now, what is the location and function of the third one? That is sclerenchyma. They have a long, narrow, thick-walled cells. Means the cells of sclerenchyma is somehow like long and elongated. Now, what is the function? The function of them is that it helps as a mechanical support. Available, where are they available? What is the location? Stem, leaves, even the fruit covering, you have sclerenchyma. And they give us support. Most of them you find them giving some like partial support, mechanical support, and this also provide a support, either leaf, stem, flowers, or into the fruit covering. Now, these are the three supportive tissues. Now we'll start with the last one, that is conducting tissue. Now, what is the meaning of conduction? We should know the meaning of conduction before understanding conducting tissue. Now, conduction or conducting means to transfer substance from one part of the plant to other part. That is known as conduction. Now, the conducting tissues are of two types. Number one is we have xylem and the other is phloem. Now, what are the function of xylem and phloem? Xylem helps in the transportation of water. Transportation of water. Whereas phloem, it helps in the transportation of food. This is the function. Now, availability or the presence of xylem and phloem or conducting tissue is in all the parts of plant, because all the parts of plant require water and food. Now, the water which is absorbed by the roots is taken up by the xylem and transferred to different parts of the plant. Whereas phloem, the leaves prepare the food with the help of photosynthesis, which is transferred to different parts of the plant, including the roots. So, this is the function of phloem. So, these are the two major conducting tissues.